guys, and welcome back to my channel, Jen Wanders. Today I wanted to show you how to add resin coat to your paintings. This is my process, the tools that I use. Some people do it differently, but this is how I do it. So I wanted to show you and share with you how I put that shiny top coat on top of my paintings. So these are my paintings without resin. And these are all the tools that I use. I always try to go the most inexpensive route, but efficient. So first you need resin. You need resin. I like the Art Resin brand. It's clean, non-toxic. You also need hardener. You're going to use equal parts of both to make your resin coat. Art Resin, you can use whatever brand you like. I just like their brand. Also, you need a measuring cup so you can measure out your equal parts almost precisely. You need a spoon so you can stir and mix your parts. You'll need some little cups or something to elevate your paintings so the resin can drip and not get on the bottom of your painting and make it stick to the countertop or whatever you're using for a base. I'll show you those in just a minute. Also, you need some painter's tape. Any kind of painter's tape will do. It just needs to be able to unstick very easily, but also adhere at the same time. We'll use that in a little bit to wrap around the sides of the paintings so that resin doesn't get onto unwanted parts. Also, you need some gloves. Resin, no matter how non-toxic it is, can still be sticky, messy, and nasty. This is my heat gun. I use that for multiple paintings, or if I have a larger painting. You can get those on Amazon, Lowe's, Home Depot, probably even Walmart. This is my Art Resin torch gun. I love this little gadget. It's great. I usually use it on smaller works or when I'm just doing one painting. So that's an option as well. And it has no cord, so that's great. Okay, so first you want to wrap the sides of your painting, whether it's canvas or whether it's wood. And the point here is really the key to it is to make it flush with the top of the painting. You don't want it going above the top of the painting, otherwise resin will pool and make a really awful little border on top. And it doesn't matter how far down it goes on the sides as long as it goes all the way and covers the sides. But like I said, you do want it flush with the top. Okay, my cups, I use those to elevate my paintings so that when the resin drips, because it will drip and it is very messy, it drips onto the butcher paper underneath my paintings and onto the cups and doesn't make as much of a mess as it could. Because trust me, like I said, resin is very messy. So you need your cup and your spoon, your hardener, your resin, and we are going to pour equal parts. So if you want 2 ounces of a resin mix, that's right, we need our gloves. I honestly hate wearing gloves, but like I said, I have little ones. I don't want to get this on them, and like I said, it does make a god-awful sticky mess that is so hard to get off. Resin is very hard to get off your skin. So, gloves it is. Okay, so, like I said, if you're wanting to make 2 ounces total, you're going to pour 1 ounce of resin and give it a second to settle too. Sometimes it takes a second and it'll build up a little bit. So, and then you want 1 ounce of hardener. So see here, I have 1 ounce of the resin, and I'm going to pour on top 1 more ounce of the hardener. You can actually tell the difference between the hardener and the resin when it's in the cup. It's kind of neat until you mix it up. Okay, there you go. You can kind of see how they separate, but that's 2 ounces. You just kind of have to guesstimate how much you need. And there's math to it, but I just guess. Okay, put your lids back on and do that sooner rather than later so they don't dry out and become unusable. Okay, the golden rule here with resin is you need to mix it, and you need to mix it for 3 minutes. Set a timer, no less, no more, 3 minutes. If you need to rest your hand, that's cool, but or close to 3 minutes as you can get. Okay, so once we've got our resin mixed, I'm gonna mix it up just a little bit more before I add it on. And right now you can pour the resin just flat out on top of your painting, or you can spoon it out. I prefer to spoon it out at first just to kind of get a base going, and then I spread it evenly all over the painting. Now right now it's going to look bubbly, it's going to look a little bit milky. That's okay. We're going to fix that with our heat gun. So spread it out evenly. I used oil pastels on this painting, so resin does not like oil pastels. You have to kind of babysit it when you use mixed media and make sure that you get it evenly distributed all over the painting. You have to kind of use your light and bend down a little bit and see where the holes are, see where it's separating at. So like I said, babysit it a little bit, make sure you're getting everything covered, especially the edges. And then we've got our heat gun. This is my favorite part. Honestly, this is my favorite part. Be careful with these. These are very extremely hot. They will burn you, they will burn paper, they will burn other things. Your kids don't need to touch them. They are super dangerous. Anyhow, so take your heat gun and I don't know, about maybe 1.5 inches to 2 inches, hover it above your painting, constantly moving it back and forth. If you leave it still for too long, it will torch your painting and that will break your heart. So move it back and forth over your painting and you'll see all of these little bubbles just magically start popping. It's really kind of cool. But like I said, don't leave it in one place for too long. Keep it hovering and don't get it too close to your painting because it will torch it and ruin it, or you will have to sand it and fix it and it'll be a pain. So just kind of like when you're drying your hair, just back and forth. Just don't leave it in one place for too long. Just hover it and wave it back and forth until you're satisfied that all of the bubbles are popped. Now sometimes it separates, so you have to take your spoon, or some people use a playing card, and kind of smooth out the resin to those places that it's kind of come undone from, and then you take your heat gun and run it back over those spots that you just fixed, because there will be more bubbles. I keep my cup of resin because there is a little bit still in it as it drops down. So I use that little bit in my resin cup to fill in the little gaps. You can see where there's little divots, a few bubbles that would not yield to the heat gun. So when this happens, you can either use your spoon and try to add more resin, or you can get you a toothpick, and these are very effective. Especially sometimes with resin, it attracts dust, it attracts hair. So look over it very carefully, and you can use your toothpick to pop the bigger bubbles or to drag out any debris that's unwanted, like dust or fuzz balls or what have you. So I just use a toothpick very lightly, because you don't want to scrape your painting because it makes it more fluid, the painting, and especially with oil pastels. So just very easily go through and pop the bubbles and pull out any debris, little pieces of dust or little hairs or anything that you see. Just pull them out, and you can also use it to kind of comb around the edges and make it more even. That's what I do. So after you're satisfied that you've gotten most of the spots fixed that you would like to fix, here's my resin cup. I'm adding a little bit more resin to some spots that I've pulled away. I'm not really OCD about the divots. I don't mind a few divots here or there, but if it's a larger place that's kind of spread out and came away from the painting, then I do use what's left in my resin cup and go back over it just to make it have that overall smooth appearance. And take your heat gun, go over it one last time, kind of melts everything together and gives you a nice top coat. So after you're done with your heat gun, I would give these about 24 to 48 hours to cure. Most people say 24. I like 48 just so they are good to go, hard and ready to sell or to hang up. So yeah, that's what they should look like after you're done. And like I said, you need to put them in a place where they're not going to get touched or messed with. And I hope that this turns out well for you. So thank you for watching today, and I hope that you watch again. Please subscribe and like this video, and I will see you next time.